What is up? My name is Garrett.Yogurt on Twitter, YOOGRRTT. Thank you so much for tuning into the Now Notation YouTube channel. Welcome back to another album review. Today, we are talking about Felly's Surf Trap, I guess, official studio album. This is the first one from this man. His previous release was Wild Strawberries, I believe, and that came out sometime last year, which was a record I enjoyed. Just thought it was a little long in the tooth. Didn't really have like that much to say, and just kind of repeated itself. I found over time, so I wasn't really going back to much cuts from that thing this year. But Open Waters and one that I would play a lot, I would say, and a few others as well. But going into this thing, I was definitely excited for more Felly music. I am a Felly fan. The man is straight from USC, and I think with him, I never really had that project where I was like, yeah, I fuck with this whole thing. Like I said, it wasn't that I didn't like Wild Strawberries. I just wasn't over the moon about it, and I still haven't like found that project up until this point. And I do think that this is actually a really good showing as far as this is one I could recommend people if you're super into albums like myself. And yeah, I just think this is one where the sound is much more consistent. He feels a lot more comfortable. It just seems like he kind of mastered this like surf trappy lane. And I mean, it sucks to use the title of the album to describe the album, but I think he kind of just hit the fucking nail on the head with this thing as far as getting a point across and presenting it in a way that aesthetically not only matches his voice and just his look and probably who he is as a person, just what I know about Felly from music videos and etc. He just seems like a pretty straightforwardly nice dude, and and the whole California aesthetic is very much alive in what he does as well, and with the wavy hair. And this thing definitely brings light to the whole beach scene, let alone just looking at the cover of this damn thing. But just also there's something so pure about what he's able to do with kind of bringing forth that. It's almost like if the Beach Boys and like 808s had a baby, and then Felly was the guy who was rapping over it. Like, that's kind of like the aesthetic of this whole thing, and I think it does actually come across really fucking well. And I don't think that's an easy thing to do, and I don't think that should be understated. I don't know if I would call this like a concept album, but I feel like there is something in here that he's trying to do. It's kind of like he is making his own subgenre, and I don't really know of anybody else who really does make this like beach type rap. I guess like Landon Cube has done that. I would say that song Young Bands does with Landon Cube is would fall into that kind of category. But if someone was like, yo, is there any like surf rap type shit? I mean, like, yeah, Air, but like no one's talking about Air anymore, so it's like I guess this is what I would recommend. And like the beats are fire. It really is aesthetically, just when you listen to the beats, could be classified as a trap album, depending on who would rap over it, with like a California beach scene like influence. But because Felly's on it, it now turns into this like over-encompassing like orchestration almost, just because I can almost hear on a lot of these where he's building these songs from the ground up. Just to get into the track list real quick, we got track number 1, Dying to Tell You. Track number 2 is Miami. Track number 3 is Pretty Girl. Track number 4 is Circus. Track number 5 is Maple. Track number 6 is Reinvention. Track number 7 is Murda. Track number 8 is Ain't Worried. Track number 9 is What Am I to Do. And track number 10 is Fallen. Definitely top 3 tracks for me. Pretty Girl is a masterpiece. Murda is just one that I've really been enjoying, and Genius really needs to update their shit saying that some of these aren't released, because they definitely are. But Murda's that song for some reason just hit with me, and I really enjoy that song. So check that one out. That one has like a hard hitting bass as well as just a fun little hook. Felly really like plays with the influx on his voice as well on this thing, and I thought that was something that I never really caught as much when looking at his discography before. I mean, he always has like that ability to kind of do this like high pitch thing, but with Wild Strawberries, I felt like melodically that was where the leaps and bounds were taken, and just like the like accompaniment of just so many instruments involved. Like when he plays live, he has a whole band with him. So that's kind of cool. If you go on this channel right now, you'll find an interview with an artist named Trip Carter. Go check out his album as well. It's Mirage. He's on tour with Felly right now. I think he plays bass in that band, but I did an interview with him like a couple years back, a year or so. So if you look up Trip Carter on this channel, you will see that interview if you're interested. I should probably review his album as well because I'm enjoying that thing. But again, just going back to what he's able to do on the example of Murda, he's basically like just applying these beach type instruments, but the way that they're being produced and interwoven in with these like hard-hitting bass notes and stuff is just very impressive. And when he comes in and does these crazy flows, does these crazy melodies, but he's also just like really coming up to show with the way that he's presenting what he's written, what he has going. I think he's just, like I said, when it sounds like you built this from the ground up and you were a part of every single inch of the design of this album, whether I know or not that's true. I think that's the sound that I get from this, is just how well it just plays. It's only 26 minutes in length, but Murda was just one of those songs that best exemplifies what I mean when I say that, like, he really is kind of creating this own weird subgenre in the rap game. If he continues with it. If not, then this was just a really cool concept that I think was executed perfectly. Like, if you were to say, like, hey man, I dare you to go make a surf rap album, like, this is it, and you killed it. Track number 8 is Ain't Worried. Track number 9 is What Am I to Do? And then I wanted to get to track number 10. I think I already listed these, but track number 10, Fallen. That song is my favorite off the album. I know that's probably not a popular pick, but the way that he just strums that guitar, I don't know if he's really playing it, but like the way that guitar just plays in, and he rides like each note just with the perfect level of intent, is just so beautiful. Like, that song is beautiful to me. And I know that I said that Pretty Girl is a masterpiece, but Fallen is like a personal masterpiece. Like, that song spoke to me in very, very impressive ways. I was just like, fuck, dude, this is so damn good. That's like peak Felly on this damn thing for me in a lot of ways too. That's the song I keep going back to if I'm just gonna play one off the album. It's a great song to like cruise by the beach if you live by a beach. I was like going down PCH playing this thing a bunch in the past month or so. When did this come out? September 28th, a little bit late on this bitch, but I have been enjoying it since it did drop. I think this is an album that is a really good one to recommend for somebody who is interested in Felly. If you've only heard like Desert Eagle or some of his bigger hits like Ali or Gorilla, this is an album that definitely has something to say, definitely has a stance to put out there, definitely has something different to show. And I think all those things, like all those boxes, get checked pretty damn well across this thing. Only 10 tracks, but I think it doesn't overstay its welcome, and I think it's actually like the perfect length. And like I said, I've been playing this thing on loop when I do play it, especially if I'm in the right beautiful sunny California air that I am fortunate enough to live in. But if you want an idea of what that type of environment or that type of culture sounds like, as someone who does live in this area, I think he does pull it pretty well. And maybe he is talking more about like the Miami lifestyle, because he does reference Miami a lot on this, but can't speak on that. But I definitely could relate this to the Southern California area, which he is not a stranger to. So but yeah, I think that this is just a really fun project. I think it comes across well as far as getting the message done well. Let me know in the comment section below, what did you think of this album? I like I said, if it seems kind of like I'm being lackluster, it was just it's good. I think it more so like is impressive because it conquers something that I don't think anyone else could really do as well. So that's impressive, but I don't know if this is like the rap album I needed in life. But he does fucking flow his ass off, so don't be mistaken. Felly's the man. Shout out to Felly. Shout out to everybody else in his little camp, because I'm always enjoying their projects and each of their releases. But yeah, let me know in the comment section below if you feel the same sentiments. If you differ, let me know why. What is your favorite track off of this thing? And yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at Yogurt, YOGRRTT. Happy Thanksgiving, and take care of yourselves. That is all, folks.